First experience with a Rapala was, man, I was a little guy, and it was the original floater and the countdown were the two baits that I like most, and I got the little sizes because I was thinking small. I was a little guy looking for small fish because that's what you look for when you're a little guy. And I fished ponds and streams and a lake that I was raised on, and we did everything including trolling with them. It was just a kind of a all-purpose lure for me back when I was a kid. My granddad was probably my biggest influence. He was the first guy to introduce me to fishing, but most of my fishing was really kind of self-taught, process of elimination. I didn't have any friends where I lived because I was so far out in the country, and we built a house on a lake on the side where there was no development or anything, and I just, to kind of entertain myself, I just went out in the boat every day. Yeah, no doubt. My most memorable experience fishing was with my son in the Keys when he caught a big permit on the flats. He was probably about, I think he was 7 or 8 years old, and we spent our summers in the Keys, and I was tarpon fishing every day with a fly rod trying to catch tarpon, and these permit kept showing up on the flat on a certain tide, and I saw they're going to be consistent, so I got my kid one day and took him out there with some little crabs and hooked him up and told him where to cast, and he threw it out there and hooked the biggest fish in the school, and it was unbelievable. His mom was in the boat, and we were all crying by the time we got the fish in the boat. It was a really overwhelming experience. The fish was way overpowering. He was a little guy, and fish kicked his butt, to be honest with you, but he hung on, and somehow the line didn't break, and he got the fish in, and it's just, that sticks in my head most. Without a doubt, it's just, being outside. I'm not a 9-to-5 desk job kind of person. I got to be outside to feel healthy, and I think that's, and I was raised that way. I entertained myself outside. We didn't have Xbox when I was a kid, so it was all about the outdoors for me. Without a doubt, my favorite Rapala lure is an original floater, and in any size really, but the 11 and 13 in the gold color is hard to beat. I've caught so many fish in so many places, lots of different species. To me, it represents the purest form of artificial lure there is. When I'm not fishing, I'm probably looking for antique lures. That, or I'm surfing. I still do that. I was raised on the beach. When I wasn't on the lake, we were on the ocean, and I always, water sports were a big part of my youth, and I continue to do it to this day, but I also like looking for antique lures. I'm not sure. I'd like to find some way to stay in the industry. I'm pretty promotional minded, and I like advertising. I like art and the graphic aspects of advertising. Maybe something in that capacity, maybe working with a pro staff or something like that. I'd like to stay in fishing though, there's no doubt. Oh man, it's a challenge, I'm gonna tell you that right now. If anybody that's thinking about making a career out of fishing, it's gonna be a lot of hard work and dedication to get there. My best advice in a good motto to go by, or a credo, would be go early and stay late. The more time you spend on the water, the better. Rapala's, I grew up with it. We all have. I mean, it's the biggest lure company in the world. They build so many different lures for all kinds of species of fish, fresh and salt. I just think of a company that's comprehensive. I mean, they really try to tackle every aspect of angling, and just about the time you think it's all been done, some guy in Finland changes everything. Everything. It means everything. I mean, Rapala has been such a huge part of my career. And not just the fact that they sponsor me and allow me to fish tournaments and represent them. I mean, that's important, but what's even more important to me is I'm able to use my background in design and art to help, develop new products. And I've been involved in a lot of different aspects, kind of behind the scenes, that the average angler is probably never going to know. And that's real meaningful to me. The people at Rapala too. I mean, Rapala is run by anglers. I mean, the guys that work there, they fish, so they know the sport inside out. It's not like working for somebody that came from the lawnmower industry and decided they want to work in the fishing industry all of a sudden. I mean, these guys know the sport inside out.